Good morning. Sunday morning, just got off the treadmill, which gave me the idea that maybe I should make this video. Cardio improves lung capacity. Now here's what the science and the studies, research says, as if do we really need that? And again, just let me remind you, you don't need to pull up studies when you're discussing the obvious. I have 2 apples, I have 2 oranges, I combine them together. Now how many pieces of fruit do I have? 4. Now do we have to prove that? You have to pull up some kind of research study, you have to explain basic arithmetic before people will say, yeah, I think he really does have 4 now. You know what I'm saying? And the proof is in the pudding. But what the science actually says is cardio improves lung capacity because what your lungs do, how your lungs function, your lungs deliver oxygen. The heart pumps the blood into the lungs. They pick up oxygen as you're breathing in, and that oxygenated blood goes out and feeds the muscles to keep the muscles moving, to keep the muscles functioning, to keep the muscles able to transmit energy, to contract effectively and efficiently. Then as a waste byproduct, there is carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide returns to the lungs, and the blood, carbon dioxide returns to the lungs in the blood, and then the lungs expel carbon dioxide. So we're breathing in, we get the oxygen that we need, transport the oxygen to the muscles. The muscles then in turn, the waste byproduct of all of this, carbon dioxide is transmitted back through the blood, carried by the blood, back to the lungs, and then we expel the carbon dioxide. So when you improve lung capacity, you improve the rate of function, the rate and function at which your lungs are capable of doing this. It makes them more efficient. Makes them more efficient. That's why as you do cardio initially, you may be very winded. It may be extremely stressful and difficult, but very quickly, you'll be surprised how quickly, by consistently sticking to it, and you don't need to do that much initially, like I've told you before. Start out with just 2 20-minute sessions per week if you can physically manage that. Then you escalate from there. But you don't have to escalate every single week. You know, wring all the progress you can out of those 2 modest 20-minute sessions. Okay, now I've recently gotten back on the treadmill, which I needed to do, and now today was the first morning that I did 25 minutes instead of 20 minutes. And my lungs, I can absolutely feel the improvement. I recently had the latest variation of the you-know-what, and it's up here in the Northeast. It's very prevalent up here. I just had it, and I had the fix for it, which I discuss in my Patreon, because I can't mention it here. Excuse me, I still have a little bit of it. Just this long haul type of symptom, right? My lungs had fluid in them, build up of fluid. You know, so one of the things that I do to try to counteract that is to sleep in more of an upright position with like a wedge pillow. You know, right now, I don't have to sleep like that when I'm healthy, or there's no infringement. And then when I do my cardio, even though I don't feel like doing it, because I'm hacking my brains out, my lungs, not right this minute, but when I started the cardio, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, came back to cardio, really a typical person still with these symptoms would have said, fuck that, man. My lungs, I'm not well enough to do cardio. But I realized that cardio will improve lung capacity. So it makes sense to me that if I do the cardio and I push through, I may be hacking, I may be coughing, it will improve more quickly and clear that shit out of my lungs. If you don't work your lungs, you know, then it's left to its own devices for your body to recover and heal itself. So it actually is cathartic, and it actually is a healing process that you're contributing toward, you're encouraging. So if you have lung issues, you have issues where your O2 uptake is compromised, you have issues where lung capacity is compromised. You know, of course, I have to say, consult your doctor, obviously, but get on a treadmill. Even if it's very modest and very little, it's 100% more than what you're currently doing. I think you'll be surprised. For me, in this situation, with just coming off of that shit, having that crap and all that buildup of shit in my lungs, that just was still there, even after I was actually better, you know, even after I'm testing negative and I'm feeling fine, I can't hardly breathe still. That shit's still there, because that's this fucking shit gets a hold of your lungs, and that's where it does its damage. So, getting on the treadmill, it has cleared my lungs out. Like I said, today I could do 25 minutes. I may have had a little cough like you just see me do twice. Wasn't hacking, wasn't coughing up shit. It wasn't a struggle. There for a while it felt like, oh my God, I'm counting down the minutes. It's like so difficult. Now, today I got on that treadmill. I didn't do it yesterday. I got on today. Night and day difference from last week. Night and day difference from last week. So, cardio absolutely improves lung function, lung capacity. So, conditioning. So, I think that, you know, as well as the benefits that it has in so many other arenas, you know, cardiovascularly, and even for fat mobilization. So, that's all. I just wanted to touch on that. Wanted to point out, especially, it could be anybody, right? But if you're getting older, if you have issues with your lungs, you can't breathe really deeply or anything like that because maybe you cough and you have these other issues and problems, or you get this, you know, or one of these other colds or some manner of flu or whatever have you, and your lungs become congested. Once you get over the hump and you're feeling pretty good, if you still have this protracted problem with this cough and this compromised lung capacity, you might want to try getting on a treadmill. You might want to try getting on a treadmill. It's not going to be easy. It's never easy. You're going to cough, you know, but it's going to strengthen your lungs, and it's going to improve and shorten the amount of time, in my opinion and in my experience, that you're going to still have to deal with all this congestion and shit. It will clear their fucking lungs out. So, I'm no doctor. I'm just a guy that's living his life. It works for me. I'm the same thing that you are. It'll probably work for you. What do you got to lose? If you already feel like shit, you already can't breathe, certainly not going to make it worse. All right. And again, it's just my recommendation. Not a doctor. Just sharing my own personal experience. Guys, take care. Have an awesome weekend. What's left of it.